Everyone, it's Wildheart, and today we'll do patch 13.4 rundown. This one is going to be a huge patch, because literally everything gonna change. I'm pretty sure this patch gonna create a massive shift on pretty much every single role. So let's get into it. First is Ahri. Ahri is getting HP buff, armor buff at the same time, gets some cooldown buff on ultimate. Honestly, it doesn't look too strong, like it's basically like one extra auto on Ahri, 20 HP, 3 armor. That's not too much, like it will help against champions like Zed, Talon, Tristana mate, but honestly that's not something that can push Ahri to a tier higher or to make her like god champion. She might be alright though, she's not bad, like she's honestly one of the safest laners overall you can find on mid lane, and at the same time she's fairly easy to use her, like she's not difficult at all. So I think that will be cool for those who already play Ahri, but that's definitely not something that can bring even more players playing Ahri. I don't think those changes gonna be too massive. Also, cooldown reduction is nice because like her ulti is not that strong, honestly. Yeah, it also gets reset like when you take down someone, but at the same time, like this early cooldown of 140 seconds, I feel like that's too much for such an ulti. But yeah, like if you ask me if that will be a strong champion next patch, I wouldn't say yes, but I wouldn't say yes to the question if you ask me if she will be a big champion as well. So yeah. Well, Alistar is basically getting exactly the same buffs that he got last patch. Like AP scales on Q, AP scales on W, and that's like plus 100 now. That's dope. Like plus 10% on H and plus 1% of healing. Honestly, it looks like Alistar is going to be like a solid mid laner or top laner. I'm not sure which lane, but like all of those buffs, considering previous patch, considering this patch, it looks like Riot don't want to see him support. Like it looks like Riot want to see Alistar solo lane, like it was in season 2 or season 3 when it was played on top lane with Shin, something like that. To me, it looks like a solid caster. Like his scales are way too strong. Like 80% on Q, 100% on AP, that's a lot. Like honestly, once you get, like imagine once you get to the point of getting like 600 or 700 AP, your headbutt will do another 700 damage. So simply with headbutt you will be dealing like 1k damage, and if you manage to hit your combo, that will be like 1.8k, something like that. I don't want to sound too loud about this one, but it feels like Alistar is going to be something like AP Assassin at this point, with some tools how to escape the fight with his ulti. This looks very promising to me. Not for Alistar support though. Alistar support still seem to be very weak though. Amumu gets another nerf. Health grows decreased, armor grows decreased, W% health damage decreased. Wow. I mean, Amumu wasn't really strong even after previous nerfs, so going even forward with the nerfs is like, I feel like it's a little too extreme, like nerfing him that way. Alright, what do we have with W? The flat damage remains the same, but the scaling of target maximum health is nerfed to 1.6%. Huh. But AP scale remains the same. AP scale remains the same. Obviously, it does not kill Amumu, because Amumu... The main reason why Amumu is strong, because he's simple. It's extremely easy to use him. However, I feel like that's a major nerf when it comes to Russian Baron or getting solo Drakes. You will feel it. Definitely you will feel it, because that's like... If you speak of numbers, that's like 20% of your damage as Amumu. Because you don't really do damage with anything. You don't really do damage with auto attacks, Qs, and Es. Like, when you do Drakes or Barons, your entire damage comes from W. It feels a lot. It feels a lot, to be honest. However, you should also keep in mind that you usually don't really want to max W early on. Like usually, regardless of role, you don't max W. Like as jungle, you usually max E, and as support Amumu, you max Q. So this W is at least secondary spell to max for you. Once again, when it comes to contesting objectives, or especially Russian objectives, that can be crucial. That's a lot. That's definitely a lot, and that can push Amumu to a tier of junglers slower than he is now. Anivia. Health grows decreased, armor grows decreased. That's very interesting. I mean, that's not a lot. Obviously, that's not a lot. That's like 0.3 armor. That's like 4 health per level. But honestly, I didn't feel like I got to play against too many Anivias recently. Like, I didn't see Anivia picked like at all, and that surprises me a lot to see Anivia getting any nerfs. Like, yeah, she was kinda dangerous with Road of Ages and Seraph's Embrace combination, but I don't feel like that's a healthy idea to nerf her, but she's not even pick or ban. Like, I rarely see Anivia. Honestly, I'm trying to recall how many times I saw Anivia in my games in patch 13.3, and I think I didn't see her once. But I guess it doesn't really change much with Anivia. Anivia is still going to be playable, and as long as they don't nerf her flat armor and flat HP, we might be alright, because her main issue could be like getting an extra nerf on like her flat HP and her flat armor, because when she drops in an egg, she becomes extremely squishy and almost one-shotable, so we don't really want to lose like flat numbers. Any. Base health decreased, E damage decreased, R cooldown increased. I mean, I'm super pissed to see that, because I was playing Annie myself last patch, and I was playing a lot of Annie myself last patch, but I guess it had to happen. I feel like Annie was a little bit overtuned last patch, and even after hotfix, she was extremely strong. I didn't get to play her before the hotfix, but after hotfix, I felt like she's super strong, so it doesn't surprise me to see her being nerfed. What happened there? Flat HP moved by 34, so basically she squished her by 1 hit. Molten Shield. AP remains the same, but we lose like flat numbers. We lose flat numbers, and at level 9 it will be like 25 lower. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. It sounds like that's just 25. Honestly, as support Annie, that's the spell that you spam. That's the spell that you spam, and like that's the main reason why you play any support. Maybe that's not too crucial for any mid lane. However, for any support, that's a game changer. Probably any going to be moved away from the next patch, and I don't think any will be any popular next patch, considering this nerf as support. Keep it in mind. T-Burst. Flat cooldown is nerfed by 10 seconds level 1, by 15 seconds level 2, and by 20 seconds level 3. It's a very uncommon way to nerf it, honestly. Very uncommon way. I don't feel like nerfing T-Burst is an accurate thing, because T-Burst was strong, don't get me wrong, but I don't think nerfing cooldown on T-Burst is the best idea. I feel like there are other ways how you can nerf Annie without touching T-Burst. Probably adding some mana cost on it, like let's make it like 150 or 200, but changing the cooldown is not the best idea. I feel like not the healthiest one. But once again, that's kind of similar as we had with Amumu. Like, Annie is fairly easy. Annie is extremely simple to use her, even when you play your first game with Annie. So nerfing her is mainly the reason why people who've been playing her couldn't just 1v9. Like, she's still good, she's still decent, like she's not weak at all, but she won't be like 1v9ing like she was in this patch. Aphelios. Passive bonus attack speed increased. Alright, I mean 10% when your passive is maxed. I mean, it's not too much, honestly, it's not too much. It's like, it's probably the buff Aphelios needs, because during the last patch 13.3, I only saw one Aphelios who did something in the game, and I feel like I played a decent amount of games last patch. Seriously, like, I only saw one somewhat effective Aphelios, and I never saw Aphelios who was like 1v9 in the game. Like, Aphelios needs too many tools to be in the game. Like, it's not only the player itself, but it also matters who do you play with, who are your teammates, which matchup do you get to play against. If your jungler plays around you, like, it matters a lot. It matters a lot. So I don't feel like this is gonna make Aphelios broken. However, that's good way to make Aphelios more popular, because currently it feels like I'm only getting to play against Kalista, Zeri, Caitlyn, and maybe Lucian if he has Nami with him. That's it. Azir. Whoa. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Holy smokes. Wow. Alright. Base mana nerfed by 100. Mana grows. Mana grows is actually increased, but base mana is nerfed by 100. So you're getting like 15 mana more per level, but you're losing one mana at the start. You will have the same amount of mana somewhere around level 7. Wow, but I mean, that's a lot. For level 1, that's a lot. That might make his level 1 to 3, basically his gameplay before his first recall, a little bit problematic. So the recharge time nerfed by 1 second, and it's the same at level 9. But we don't really care about that because VMAX Q, right? W is not the main thing. Actually getting buffed, but like we get plus 15% scaling and plus 40 damage. But with its cooldown, it's not like a game changer or something. Like the cooldown on E is fairly long, so it's not like this spell will compensate for the laning phase nerf, like his baseman nerf and the W. However, like we get extra AP scale on ulti and E. E has extremely long cooldown, ulti has long cooldown as well. That's very interesting changes, and it feels like they don't mean to nerf his solo queue potential. It feels like it's all about the competitive. It's all like I feel like it's all about the competitive, and they are trying to find the way how to nerf him for pro play and his potential to pressure laning phase, especially against short range champions on mid lane. I feel like that's not a bad idea to change something about the Azir, because honestly, I've been getting quite some Azir top laners recently, and they were always dominant. Like, they were not killing their enemies, but they were always getting like plus 30-40 CS, and they felt like strong lane bullies. Cho'Gath. Armor growth increased, Q mana cost decreased, base damage increased, W mana cost decreased. Interesting, that's very interesting. Armor growth increased, so it means he didn't perform too well last patch against the physical damage dealers like Riven, Fiora. I mean, honestly, this meta doesn't feel like too good for Cho'Gath. Like, I can see the reason why people pick him, but at the same time, considering the fact how popular is Jace, how popular is Riven, how strong is Fiora and Jax, I can see the reason why Cho'Gath is not strong. Why Cho'Gath is getting demolished during the laning phase. Rupture getting nerfed. It's actually getting buffed. I'm trolling, my bad. Is it something serious? I mean, it's plus 5, plus 10, plus 15, and plus 20 damage. Mana cost is reduced by 10. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You still max E, you don't max Rupture. Unless you're playing AP Cho'Gath. If you're playing full AP Cho'Gath, you're maxing Q and W. Alright, Feral Scream. Feral Scream is getting buffed as well. Plus minus 20 mana cost. I mean, that's not too bad. I feel like that can help him a lot, because Cho'Gath always has mana issues, and that's the right way how you can buff him. I feel like that's the right way how to buff him without making him overtuned. I love that. That's a very good buff. Man, I love this patch. Like, seriously, this patch is so good. Alright, Elise. Q base damage decreased, Spider-Man base damage decreased. God bless. I hate playing against Elise this patch. Elise was so annoying every single time Elise was out of bans. She was super annoying to deal against, like permadiving you, pressuring early, extremely hard to contest scuttle crabs, very versatile how to play around different team comps. Like, she's super strong. She was super strong, like it's super good to nerf her. But let's see what happened there. Flat magic damage nerfed, scales remain the same. Alright, so basically minus 10 up to minus 30 damage at level 9. And that's good. That's actually good, because Elise usually maxes Q as far as I can recall. That's good. That's very good. Spider magic damage 10, 15, 20, 25, 8, 14, 20, 26. She's becoming stronger late game, but she's becoming weaker early game. I mean, I take it. I totally take it, because I'm only scared of playing against Liz early game. Like, I don't really care about late game, mid game. We totally take those. But also keep in mind, that's not just 2 damage. Like, she never has only 1 spider, right? That's like usually 3 spiders at least when she transforms. So that's not like 2 damage, that's like 6 damage every single hit. That can matter a lot when you get to fight her 1v1 early on. But I love that. Jarvan VI's W cooldown increased, shield strength, AD scaling decreased. Alright, so we get a nerf on cooldown. Let's see what we have with the shield strength. Wait, hold on. Flat numbers are the same, but we're losing like 10% scaling. Dude, that was like one patch. Like, we had like only one patch when Jarvan was buffed, and we're getting him nerfed immediately when he didn't really... I didn't see too many Jarvans. Like, honestly, yeah, people been picking him. Jarvan became much more popular than he was, but it's not like nerfing his shield is an accurate thing immediately. I don't feel like he was overtuned or something. But well, Jarvan is very difficult to balance him because, once again, he's in the same league with Amumu and Annie. He's extremely simple. He can force a teamfight whenever you need. He can turn the tide of teamfight whenever he wants to. Those champions who can pull a trigger when it's needed, those are usually overpowered. Like it's very difficult to balance them without completely killing them in this meta. So I would say we need those. Even though I don't fully understand why it happened, because I didn't feel like Jarvan was overtuned. But yeah, I mean, those champions like Amumu, Jarvan, Sejuani, it's extremely hard to balance them. Jax, base health increased, health growth increased. Interesting. E AP ratio adjusted, damage calculation adjusted, R passive on hit damage decreased, bonus armor and magic resist decreased early. I mean, let's see the numbers. Overall, I love to see Jax being nerfed because Jax was overtuned, that's for sure. Jax was extremely popular and he was taking over too many games in case with me. So I'm really happy to see him nerfed, but let's see the numbers. Base health, nerfed by 20, 1 auto attack, not too much. Health growth is increased though, by 1. Wait, so in fact you never get to the point, like at level 18 you have pretty much the same HP, right? Let's don't take it too serious, let's just accept that. Counter Strike, new auto damage. Dodging attacks now increases the entire damage of the spell, no longer just the base damage. Wow, that's very interesting. That's very interesting interaction, especially if you get to play against someone whose attack speed is extremely high. Against champions like Kog'Maw or Master Yi or Bel'Veth, when she hits you, that can be very strong. I love it. That's very cool. Minimum magic damage is the same, but AP scale is changed. That's interesting. Maximum magic damage, it's the same. Nothing is changed. But AP scale is increasing maximum damage. So we got minimum magic damage reduced, but maximum damage buffed. Plus 8% of the target's maximum health. Wow. I mean, that's very solid. That's very solid. Speaking of numbers, that sounds very solid. I mean, that can definitely make a little shift for Jax item build. I don't feel like it's Divine Thunder champion anymore with this Counter Strike, but I'm really curious how people gonna build it. Like earlier, I was assuming Jax is going to be played with Nashor tools because of his changes on the ultimate, but people didn't really start playing AP Jax. And I'm curious if this is going to be the reason why people can start playing AP Jax. Alright, what do we have with the ulti? Passive on hit damage is nerfed. Alright. I mean, that's not a bad thing, because keep in mind, whenever he ults, he does this passive on hit damage every 2 hits, not every 3 hits. So, I mean, dealing extra 80 damage every 2 hits at level 6, that's a lot. Honestly, that's a lot, so I can see the reason why he's getting nerfed. Bonus armor for first champion hit, 25, 45, 65, 215, 40, 65. So at level 16 we're playing the same Jax, but early game we're losing like 10 armor, which is a lot. I mean, 10 armor in early game, you can feel it. Alright, bonus magic resist for first champion hit, 15, 27, 39. Scales are not touched. To 9, 24, 39. 6 magic resistance. I mean, that's probably that had to happen. I would love to see more of split pushing Jax, like the duelist Jax, than the Jax who is joining teamfights 24/7. And obviously with the previous ulti, he could be very strong team fighter. Alright, okay, like with this 25 armor and 15 magic resistance at level 6, he could be very tanky. He could be much more tankier than an average bruiser should be. So I'm kinda happy to see him losing some resist. That's definitely positive. Alright, Malphite, rock solid. Let's see what we have there. Thunderclap. Cooldown is buffed by 2 seconds level 1. Wow, that's not bad. I mean, I saw some Malphite players getting W level 1, and this is a huge reason to get it level 1 now. Wow, I mean, that's very solid. Empowered attacks, physical damage, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Plus 20 AP scale, plus 10% armor. We are not getting any basic damage changes, we are not getting any AP scaling changes, but extra damage from armor. That's cool. That's cool, especially if you have your passive ready. Con physical damage remains the same, but armor scaling is increased by 5 as well. That's cool. I love that. I love that because Malphite wasn't too popular recently. Honestly, I only see autofills playing Malphite. Like, if you're getting filled to top lane, like if you're ADC main or support main and you're getting filled to top lane, you're playing Malphite. And yeah, I never see top lane mains playing Malphite, so that's cool. That's very cool. I would love to see Malphite in meta because that's such a great champion. He's very simple, has many tools how to force teamfight, but I feel like he's not the best choice in the current meta when everyone can just outsustain him. But maybe, I'm not too sure, maybe things will change with the Doran Shield nerf. Sorry for spoiler, but as far as I can recall, I think I was watching pre-patch 13.4 patch notes, and I think Doran Shield might get nerfed as well. But let's see later on. Maokai nerf. Alright, that's good. That's good. Too many Maokais in my games. Every single time he's useful. Demonic Embrace, Radiant Future combo wasn't healthy at all. He's too strong. So I'm happy to see him nerfed. Q damage increased. E cooldown increased. Base damage decreased. AP ratio decreased. Slow HP ratio increased. Slow AP ratio decreased. Alright, let's see what we have there. Flat damage remained the same. Target maximum health is nerfed by 1% at level 9. Wait, hold on. Do I read it right? Yeah, I think I do. It's not but it's not decreased, it's actually increased. I expected the nerf. I mean, that's definitely a cool idea to buff his Q in terms of percentage damage if you want to see Maokai getting solo drakes and barons every single game. But that's just weird. Okay, but we have a Saplintos. Wow. Holy smokes. 4 seconds. Wow. That's brutal. That's very brutal. 4 seconds. Holy smokes. Alright, magic damage. 55, 80, 105, 130, 155. Into... That's not too much, honestly. That's just 5 damage. It's just 5 damage every single level, and he loses the AP scaling. I mean, that's not that big of a deal. Damage is still doubled when saplings are placed in Brush. Okay. Brush empowered sapling slow. 45% plus 0.9% per 100 bonus health. Plus 4% per 100 AP to 45%. So the slow becomes stronger when you have health, but weaker when you have AP. So they want to nerf AP Maokai. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense because Maokai as jungler can be perfectly played without this sapling toss. Like, it will be just a little bit different Maokai. You still get to max Bramble Smash. Like, you've been maxing Q. That's your main damage source. Like, saplings were used just to poke someone with Demonic Embrace, and they were not like game changers unless you've been going something like Demonic Embrace and Leandris. But like adding extra 1% on his Q can increase his potential to rush dragons and barons alone without losing any HP by a ton. Like that's serious buff. It's just 1%, but in fact, yeah, we get our E nerfed, but we get compensated with the Q. Probably we are not going to see Demonic Embrace Maokai anymore, but that doesn't kill Maokai at all, and that's cool. That's cool because this way we can still keep playing Maokai support, Maokai jungle, Maokai top lane, and it doesn't kill Maokai at all. Champion can be played. Probably on top lane it will still be difficult for him to play in this specific meta that we have now, but yeah, we take it. We definitely take it. Oriana. Base armor increased, W mana cost decreased. Another buff for Oriana. Wow. Plus 3 armor. That's very good. That's very good. I love that. I love this buff. That's very cool. 3 extra armor. That's super solid because honestly, not too long ago I got to play Oriana against Zed. This guy who'd been playing that destroyed me, he dumpstered me, like he destroyed me. He killed me I think 5 or 6 times 1v1. I had absolutely no chance laning against him, so I feel like this armor, especially for early game, that can be massive. That can help me a lot. Alright, W common dissonance mana cost is reduced by 10 every single level. Not too bad, we take it. I mean, with all those small Oriana buffs, Oriana can slowly become the strongest mid laner. Like she already feels herself quite alright in this meta, but buffing her further, I feel like she has more carry potential than Victor has now, I must say. Pretty much Oriana, Victor, Azir, they do the same mission. They are power farming, they are scaling, and after that they are 1v9ing. With Oriana you get to scale much faster, plus your ulti can do much more than Victor's ulti in teamfight. So that's great. Honestly, that's great. I love to see Oriana, I love to play Oriana. That's totally my like. Riven. Passive bonus AD scaling adjusted, now deals 50% of bonus damage to towers stack resources. Wait, stack resource bar added. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting because I feel like buffing Riven is not the most accurate idea because Riven is strong now. She's not weak at all. She is one of the strongest top laners already, and giving her even the smallest buff can make her overtuned. So let's see. What do we have there? Bonus AD 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60%. Aha. So we get the change from level 1, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 to just level 1 to 18. So more linear scaling. Yeah, that's good. That's nothing bad in that one. Timber. Runic Blade bonus damage is now applied to towers, but only deals 50% of the increased damage. So that means that Riven will have better potential to split push. I mean, considering her kit, her set of spells, that's not a bad idea to make her more split push oriented than team fight oriented. That's not a bad idea. Check out these stacks. Riven's passive stacks are now shown as a resource bar. Okay, so it doesn't sound like something broken, however, it will help her to get like extra turret plates during the laning phase, which means get more gold out of the laning phase. It doesn't sound too toxic for this meta, but honestly, I don't like the idea of buffing Riven because Riven wasn't weak at all. Alright, Samira. Passive movement speed is nerfed from 3.5% per stack to 1, 2, 3, 4% per stack at levels 1, 6, 11, 16. So we have lower movement speed below level 16. So pretty much the entire game. And after level 16 our movement speed is a little bit higher. I mean, I love to see Samira being nerfed, but I don't feel like that the most required thing to be nerfed, I must say. Alright. Lifesteal effectiveness 66.7 to 50%. I mean, that's not too bad. Like, even though she loses some lifesteal on her ulti, she can still be played with the collector IE, for example, with the shield bow collector LDR. Like you don't go BT and shield bow every single game for Samira. Like, you can go shield bow and BT, but that's not like a must. But at the same time, I don't feel like those 16% are like a death sentence for Samira. Like, she cannot be played without those items. Like, I feel like that's literally the same Samira, honestly. We will only feel that at like late game when we have full build and our damage maxed. But like during the early and mid game, that's not that big of a deal, honestly. Pretty sure Samira players wouldn't feel too much of a difference. Senna. Attack ratio increased, our damage is increased, cooldown is decreased. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting because honestly I didn't see Senna for a while in my solo queues. Like, I never see Senna now. Like, never. Base stats. Attack ratio, attack speed per 100 bonus attack speed is buffed. Alright. Ulti, Dawn in Shadow. Physical damage is buffed. It's buffed. Wait. It was scaling off AP? I didn't even pay attention that was scaling off AP. Okay. Plus 15% on AD scaling. And flat damage is buffed too. Cooldown is buffed as well. That's actually a cool buff. I love it because I felt like Senna's ultimate had too long cooldown, especially in early game. But once again, I don't feel like it's something that can make Senna any popular in League of Legends, honestly. Like, I feel like it can definitely make Senna more picked, more popular, but I don't see a way how Senna can be popular because of this one. Those who play Senna already, they will love the buff. Those who don't play Senna yet, they won't start playing it because of this buff. That's for sure. Thresh. Q damage increased, cooldown decreased late. Okay. W cooldown adjusted, shield strength decreased. Wait, I mean shield was weak anyways. Okay. E damage increased. Interesting, let's see. Plus 10% AP. And flat damage is increased with levels by 5, 10, 15, 20. I mean, as Thresh, you usually don't max Death Sentence. You get 3 points in Flay, and after that you max Death Sentence, because you need Flay damage for laning phase. So, usually, you will get that Death Sentence by level, let's count. You have level 1 before level 6, so level 7, level 8, level 9, level 10. At level 10, you have the sentence maxed at level 10. So you have this This cooldown at level 10 plus 2 seconds. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. Honestly, that's cool. At level 10, I'm thinking what happens during the level 10. Level 10, that's like 20 minutes in the game for support. Fighting for Baron, fighting for Drakes. So if you hit a hook, it's reduced by 3 seconds. Plus cooldown reduction, you always build cooldown reduction. So in fact, you will be able to hook the guy like every 4 seconds. Every 4 seconds. That's very cool. That's very cool. That's very strong. I mean, I love it. Honestly, I really love the sentence. Going to play Thresh a lot this patch. This is something that I love a lot personally. Thresh is my most played champion overall in League of Legends. And yeah, that's something that can make me playing Thresh in this patch, that's for sure. That's very strong. W, Dark Passage. Alright, let's see what we have there. Cooldown is increased by 1 second at when it's maxed. We don't really care about W maxing because we max W after Q, so even if we get Q maxed at level 10, W will be maxed somewhere around level 14-15, which almost never happens because you are support. Flat shield is the same. Flat cooldown is buffed by 1 second. Yeah, I mean, that's buff. That's definitely a buff. We don't really care about the late game shield. We totally take it. We totally take it. Absolutely. What do we have with E? E has plus 10% AP scaling and plus 5 damage every single level. That's cool. That's cool because, as I said, we still want to max Flay. Like, we don't max Flay, we get 3 points in Flay for laning phase. But this 10 damage, that's cool. We absolutely take those. That's very cool. I love that. Like, I will play a lot of Thresh this patch, that's for sure. Udyr. Health growth decreased, base armor decreased, Q on hit damage decreased, R increased, slow decreased. Base stats. Health growth decreased, base armor decreased. Okay, another portion of nerfs for Udyr. Bonus AD scaling is nerfed. Flat damage remains the same. We don't really care about those because people usually play with the Wingborn Storm Udyr now. And what do we have is Wingborn Udyr? 25, 28, 31, 34, 37, 40. 5% every level. That's not too much. That's not too much, but definitely that can be a game changer for Udyr who plays this Wingborn Storm Demonic Embrace combo, because in order to keep hitting your R, you need to slow the target, right? And if slow is not that strong anymore, I'm pretty sure it will be much easier to just run away from it, kite Udyr, and that's it. Veigar. Q range increased, W range increased. Wow, that's very good. That's very good. I love that a lot. That's very healthy. You don't buff Veigar's damage, you don't change his cooldowns, but you increase his range of spells. That's very cool. That's awesome. That's very good buff for Veigar. That's exactly what he needs. That's very solid buff. Like, you buff his range without overtuning him with the damage, with cooldowns, with the CC he can bring with his cage, with the execution possibilities, with his ulti. Just the range. Perfect. That's awesome. Viego. Q passive damage can now critically strike. R AD scaling increased. So Kraken Slayer Viego is buffed. Kraken Slayer and Shield Bow Viego is buffed. So Blade of the Ruined King is indirectly nerfed for Viego. I mean, this way. R AD scaling increased as well. Let's see. The passive damage from Q on basic attacks can now critically strike. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. Not gonna lie, because that adds some variety for Viego how to item build, and that makes much more sense for Viego players who've been building Kraken Slayer before that, and Shield Bow. Like, people love building those items, and giving the critical chance with those auto attacks, considering that's like the main damage source for them, wouldn't be a bad thing. I wonder though how it will work with the W and with the ulti. Like, if your Q crits, but you still mark the target with ulti and W, will you crit or not? Let's see what we have with the ulti. Physical damage scaling remains the same. But scaling per 100 bonus AD is increased by 2% of targets missing health. Okay. I wonder what item build options it can bring, but it sounds very fun. That sounds very interesting, and this sounds like a potential replacement to Bel'Veth in solo queue for those who love playing Bel'Veth, or something that has sort of 1v9 carry potential in solo queue. That can be a thing. I love it. Yeah, items. Let's go to the items. Demonic Embrace has been a strong contributor for enhanced clear speed times, especially on the likes of a few top tier picks like Maokai, Udyr, and Amumu. We are now capping Demonic's damage against monsters, so it isn't quite as effective. That's cool. That's cool. Don't gaze into the jungle. Azakana Gaze is now capped at 40 damage per second against monsters. I think that's mainly because of the potential of Udyr and Amumu to solo Baron, to be honest. I feel like Riot just don't want to have too many champions who can solo Baron, and that's the main reason. Especially considering the fact that Maokai and Udyr in fact don't really lose HP. They can just full HP do the Baron. Like Maokai cannot solo Baron, but he does very solid damage to Baron. He doesn't even need the Demonic Embrace, like his Q does already a decent amount of damage, and with Demonic Embrace he's just dealing too much damage to objectives, considering the fact that he's a tank actually. Doran Shield, alright, that's what I was talking about. Doran Shield is a very strong early game purchase for both tanks and fighter that makes a lot of champions feel less punishable than desired. That this nerf aims to lower this passive healing without discouraging interaction based healing. That's good. That's good. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. That's exactly what's needed for top lane. To bring back champions like Queen, Vayne, Cannon, like basically all the ranged top laners. They are suffering a lot because of this goddamn combo of Doran Shield and Second Wind. And now, because of this Doran Shield nerf, we can finally breeze. Honestly, I love seeing that a lot. That can bring much more variety to top lane. This is also a solid buff to Gnar. Especially for competitive, not gonna lie, nerfing Doran Shield. Like, Gnar is already popular. Like, Gnar been popular on competitive scene for quite a while. And nerfing Doran Shield is very healthy and cool idea. I love that. Support item adjustments. That's going to be interesting too, because I've been reading the pre-patch patch notes. And yeah. Relic Shield, base health regeneration increased. Targon's Buckler, base health regeneration increased. Spectral Sickle, charge generation time decreased. Wait, increased. And same thing with spell sieves. So basically, what do we have? All the champions who can and won't play with the last hitting minions, they are buffed. All the champions who are playing around poke, around harassing someone, they are getting nerfed. By the way, that's another indirect buff, I mean, to Thresh, because Thresh is only played with Relic Shield. Shoulder guards are buffed too. That's cool. I mean, regardless of what you play, Relic Shield or Shoulder guards, you still get more regeneration. It's not like making those champions super strong, but we got to begin with something, and that's cool. Runes, magical footwear. Use magic discount. Magical footwear will now only sell for 30% of the value of boots, 90 gold. Normal boots and tier 2 boots sell value is unchanged. I know that. I know the reason of that. That's because of Yuumi players. People in pro play have been picking Yuumi, magical footwear rune, like getting the boots, selling them, and converting the gold you get from magical footwear rune into items. And that's been like that for a year, that's for sure, maybe even longer. That's really weird that they decided to nerf it just now. Treasure Hunter. Treasure Hunter is far and away one of the best runes to pick up in your secondary rune tree for almost all champions. It's currently contributing to a lot of early snowballing, so we're taking away some of the gold that helped it become a top tier rune. Honestly, I don't like that nerf because I was running Treasure Hunter a lot, but I can understand the reason why it's nerfed. Like, I don't want to see it nerfed, but in my opinion, it's right thing to nerf Treasure Hunter. However, I don't think that nerfing Treasure Hunter like that it will just destroy Treasure Hunter as a rune. I still feel like 450 gold totally is a lot. Like, I feel like with this amount of gold, you still want to pick Treasure Hunter over the other hunters. Maybe sometimes you want to go Ultimate Hunter if your champion needs Ultimate, but that's it. I don't feel like Relentless Hunter or I can't remember the name, that the hunter that provides cooldown reduction for active items can somehow compete with treasure hunter. I just feel like it's too powerful not to pick it, so I feel like we will still see it being played. Jungle adjustments. Rift Herald. Shelly's range is fairly prohibitive for moving her into positions outside of the Baron Pit that you can use to your advantage. We are moving her soft reset state, where when patience ends and she runs back and... That's very interesting. I mean, leash range is buffed, but at the same time, she just runs back. That's very interesting. Like, not gonna lie, this will bring a huge mess in both solo queues and competitive games. Like, this is massive, guys. Like, wow, I love seeing that, guys. This is cool. Gromp base health decreased by 150. That's cool. He's too tanky. That's right thing to nerf his HP. That's cool. Sustain base heal from monster kills 25 to 30. That's cool too, because way too many junglers are just losing all the HP when they are clearing. For example, if you're jungling with something like that, whenever you full clear, you're running out of HP. Like you have like 200 or 300 HPs when you full clear. So if you're playing against some meta jungler, like let's say Maokai, you will have no chance fighting for the Scuttle Crab. So that's good. Clear speed. Alright. Jungle Companion damage. Let's see what we have there. So many scales there, holy smokes. Alright, let's pay attention to this. Bonus AD is the same. Bonus AP is nerfed. Bonus damage from AP is nerfed by 3%. Bonus armor remains the same. Bonus magic resistance remains the same. Bonus health remains the same. So we only lose like 3% on AP. I mean, that makes sense, because with this Demonic Embrace meta, and they mentioned it about the Demonic Embrace, the clear speed was too quick comparing to the AD junglers like Maokai, Elise, Amumu, like all of those AP junglers. They've been clearing too quickly comparing to AD ones. So I can see the reasoning behind it. Kill experience. That's actually a very interesting one. Because something is really wrong with experience for junglers now. Something is really wrong, because even if you are not power farming and you're playing against jungler who is power farming, you can actually maintain the same amount of XP or even being ahead if the guy is just power ganking and ignoring the camps. And that shouldn't be like that. Like, ganking should be very punishing unless you're like getting too many kills and too many assists. But for now, like, that's totally alright to skip like 3-4 camps and get 1 kill or 1 assist and have the same amount of XP as enemy jungler has. That's very interesting. I'm like, I see the numbers, but I'm not entirely sure how this will impact the game. Like, late game is almost the same. I mean, late game. Level 9, level 10 is almost the same, but like level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, and level 7, level 8 as well, that's a very serious difference. Guys. I mean, that's very interesting. Like, this patch, not gonna lie, guys, this is probably the biggest patch we had so far after the preseason patch. I'm super excited about this patch. Comeback kill experience, especially in the jungle. Kills could quickly swing players back into parity with opponents who are substantially ahead from the other actions. Comeback mechanics in League are built to get you within a fighting chance of the opponent, but the comeback system on kills brought you up to their level. This shouldn't be a major shift to leveling in League, but it shouldn't mean level leads are a little bit stickier. I mean, this is a very sensitive topic to discuss, because I feel like comeback mechanics are working great, but probably they are working too great. I'm not exactly sure if they are working great or too great, because sometimes I feel like the punishment for one mistake the team does is way too serious to be like that. Like, it should probably be changed. But well, I mean, this patch is very global. Like, with this clear speed kill experience, combo kill experience, we're gonna have extremely new excitement and feeling about the League of Legends. I'm pretty sure this is going to be very serious. Wait, let's go down. I think I don't really care about ARAM changes. This should be something about the LPs. Wait, party chat. Party chat is a new chat that allows you to chat just to your pre-made party members. Party chat. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Behavioral systems. New commands for mute self and deafen are available in game. We have seen players use the automatic chat abuse detection and muting feature in order to mute themselves, which is a misuse of the system. Human players do want to use this functionality. We are providing ways for players to mute themselves without needing to use inappropriate language to do so. Bro, those guys are 5-head. Mute self will prevent you from using text chat as well as notify other players you have muted yourself. You can undo this by using mute self again. Will prevent you from using text chat and prevent yourself from seeing chat from other players as well as notify other players you have muted yourself. What about pings? Why there is nothing about pings? We found tokens, we don't care about that. Competitive. This is it. LP win and lose amount when your visible rank approximately matches your MMR from 15 to 22. All gain and lose values are increased across the board. Wait, so if I'm getting like 19 to 20, I'm supposed to get like 22 now? A duo in a match has more of an advantage over the solo players in their match than they should right now. So we're making a change which should result in them being put in games with higher skilled players on both sides. We'll continue to monitor and manage this value over the next few patches. I mean, I felt like it was like that long ago. Honestly, I felt like when you've been playing duo, you've been matched against higher ranks, regardless. That's weird to see it change just now. That's very weird to see it change just now. However, I feel like just balancing the system that way that you cannot find the game if you're searching the game as duo, if there is no duo on other team, on other lobby, would be the best thing you can do. Just make it straight. If you have duo on your team, you must have a duo on enemy team. That's simple. Slightly increase the skill rating in matchmaking for duo players in ranked solo duo. Okay. Split point progression will now be shown on the ranked end of game progression screen. That's cool. That's cool. Not bad. Mythic shop. New skins. Alright, guys. I guess that's it. I'm extremely excited about this patch. This patch is absolutely massive. This is probably the biggest patch I've seen in a while. And I will look to hard grind this patch. This looks very, very interesting. Like, not gonna lie, I loved it a lot. Like, so many cool changes. And what's cool, I love the nerfs. Like, that's very rare for me to love the nerfs. But I still don't understand why Asol is not getting nerfed further. But well, maybe we will see some other hotfixes of Asol being nerfed, or maybe they don't want to kill Asol when it was just reworked. We will see. For now, that's all, guys. Hope it was insightful for you and useful. See you next video. Bye.